This is the William Marshall sword from Hanway. That's based on a sword supposedly wielded by one of the most famous knights of the United Kingdom, Sir William Marshall. As this sword comes, it's very tip heavy and quite thick. There's relatively little distal taper. After reading an article on SPG about this sword and reworking it, I decided that that's what I'd like to do. I started about 7.5 inches down, where the point of balance generally is on this sword at 7.5 inches. And from there, I slowly started to take off this high ridge, this high fuller ridge here on each side of the fuller. Taking it down, and where the fuller ends, this part of the tip down here was actually quite thick and bulbous, carrying a lot of extra weight, and gave the tip of the sword a look that wasn't even aesthetically pleasing. I managed to shave off about 4 ounces of metal from this blade, from 2 pounds 9 ounces down to 2 pounds 5 ounces. Already there's a noticeable difference in the handling of this sword and the tip weight. I also learned that these pommels are hollow. And the next thing I'm going to be doing is drilling the riser on the pommel and filling this with lead shot and epoxy to counterbalance and give it more pommel weight to bring the center of balance back even a little bit further. But before I went ahead and did all that work on the pommel, I sharpened the blade and decided I'd try some cutting first, because the last person who did this that I saw cutting with this sword, apparently they snapped their blade in half. And before I go and do any more work on it, I'm going to make sure that I can cut with it. So we'll see what happens. How's that for a bad swing? As you can tell, I have very little skill with the European sword. I'm more of a katana kind of guy. But so far, this thing's proven to be quite tough, especially with the 1/8-inch thick chunk of wood I peeled off the end of this with the sword. Right through a knot, too, I might add. And it's still holding up. So, I'm going to cut some more bottles and get in some heavier bottles and see how it holds up. Good. Well, I can't see a problem there. Held it pretty nicely. My edge stayed on pretty good, so I guess I'll go ahead and drill this pommel and add some weight. Bring that center of balance back a little bit further.